What's up, nerds and nerdettes, and we little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G. The Two Gun Pixie presents. Got that backwards. The Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Sometimes you make a mistake, and if it's fun, just leave it be. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for returning to check out another episode. Thank you for subscribing and hitting that notification bell. It's really sweet when you do that, just like when you go over and you see what we're doing over on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We can't begin to thank you enough for the interest you show in us and the love you give us. Now, we also have a Two Gun Pixie Zazzle store in case you're interested in a little bit of merch. Just some fun, nerdy phrases and images that we threw on some shirts that had to do with RPGs or just general geekiness. So thank you for taking a look. And if you ended up buying anything, thank you. But even if you just looked, that's amazing. So now, today on Midday Monologue Monday, I wanted to talk to you sort of about a versus, a preference. Maybe versus a little too strong, a little too confrontational, but preference in board games. Not in the general board games, but in a specific aspect of them. A personal preference, and maybe why. But we're going to talk about miniatures versus standees in a board game. You must have a preference, even if you don't mind either or. I'm betting most of you still have at least a little bit of a preference. Is it based on the game, or is it just general? Well, let me go down to the table, and we'll talk about this. Thank you for joining me for this Midday Monologue Monday while I ponder something out loud. So, miniatures. We love them. They look great. They feel great. Some people love to paint them. Some people love them when they're pre-painted. Then we also have standees. They're just cardboard. I mean, they're three-dimensional, but they don't pop. They're kind of flat. But you get a chance to have some really beautiful art on it. Alright, so what's the deal? It doesn't just come down to money, which I imagine is a big part of the publisher's and the designer's decision whether to go with miniatures or standees. But is that the only reason? Is there something particular about a game that has one or the other that it benefits having that as opposed to the other? So that I can't imagine. I'm drawing a blank. I'm thinking of some pretty interesting examples, but nothing that stands up to that question. No, I mean, me personally, I can't think of a mechanical reason in a game. I can't think of something that's completely and purely thematical as a reason for the game to have either miniatures or standees. So I do some Kickstarters, as most of you probably know by now. And I'm just thinking and wondering to myself, if somebody that had a game on Kickstarter left it up to the backers, whether you want miniatures or you want standees. Now, offhand, I think overwhelmingly the vote would be for miniatures. But again, going back to what I said earlier about the money. So how would that then affect the Kickstarter? Are you going to get less? Is the stretch goals going to be pushed back, so to speak, or pushed up higher, I guess is really what I mean, to more expensive amounts to counterbalance? How would that work out? I don't know, but it would be interesting to see if my thought is correct. Would there be an overwhelming pouring of, yes, you must make this a miniatures game? Or would we have an unexpectedly higher amount of, hey, it doesn't matter, either way to me, I still like the game? Now, me personally, yeah, I admit I like miniatures, but I understand that there's no reason for me to. Like I said before, I can't think of any benefit that it has to be a miniature. But they do, they feel good, you're holding them, and you could your fingers, your tactile sensation can feel the 3 dimensions of it. I like that. But I can't paint. I've never had the time to dedicate to learn how to paint miniatures. So, in that degree, I kind of like Standees because I've never seen a black and white Standee. They're all full color pictures, and in many cases, the pictures are pretty cool. So you do get to see that in full color. I guess if it came right down to it for me, I would say, how much can you lower the price if you make it a Standee? Yeah, I think I would have to kind of, whatever you want to call it, kind of cheap out or something on it. I would probably take that. Or, you know what, actually, more honestly, I would probably ask what the difference is. I would want to know the difference, monetarily speaking, before I gave a final answer of, yeah, you can make them Standees, or no, they better be miniatures. I think that might be important to know. But I do like the miniatures. Some of the ones come ink washed, and I like that. That's really cool. Couldn't do that to a Standee. So, not only do I want to know if you have a preference, but I'm also curious to know why you have that preference, and how upset would you be if a game you read about and you heard about and every other aspect blew you away, and then you found out it's Standees? I'm curious, how would that take away from you? Would you then not want to buy it or not want to back it? I'm curious. So yeah, let me know. Let everyone else know. You start a conversation thread on what people prefer and why. Yeah, is it a miniature or is it a Standee? A Titan versus a Titan. All right, everyone, thank you very much for checking me out with this short little kind of question thing on my mind. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G, but Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. And my friends, I am out of here.